Hello,
Welcome
we are back. It is Philip, it is Neil, Journey into Film with us. And we're back talking about another Christmas film called The Grinch from the year 2000, starring Jim Carrey, the highest grossing film of the year 2000, which shocked me when I learned that.
Did not know that
But
either.
I was shocked when I learned that, and that just goes to show you that that year was not a very strong year for film.
Oh, I loved Grinch. Loved it.
We will get into it. I first saw this film when I was 10, and because I was 10 years old when it came out, I went and saw it in theaters. Loved it, thought it was a classic. Then I grew up. I watched it more times. The more I watched it, the less I grew to love it.
Interesting.
Because I think a lot of the humor in the movie, for instance, is them trying to reach like the MTV, trying to be hip and cool, like with the part where the Grinch mates the mayor, played by Jeffrey Tambor.
Yes.
Kiss the dog's ass.
Gotcha.
Stuff like that. There's the scene when the Grinch gets fired out of the whatever.
Yeah.
And he falls headfirst right into the girl's boobs.
That's right.
And let's remind you, this is a PG film aimed at kids, and you put jokes like that in there.
That's a good point.
That's a turnoff. I'm sorry. Now those jokes work in a movie for adults.
Yes.
Those jokes work in shows like South Park and The Simpsons and stuff like that. Hell, the next film we're going to talk about, those jokes would work fine.
Yeah.
But in a film aimed for kids, no.
It's interesting you say that. I've never really thought much about that.
But the film does have a good cast. It's Jeffrey Tambor as Mayor Mayhew, Christine Bonitsky, who you all may know as Leonard's mom from The Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah.
And she was also in The Good Wife, I believe.
That's right.
And she was in a few more films in supporting roles. She's a great actress. It introduced us to Taylor Momsen as Cindy Lou Who, who wasn't a very good actress in this film, and
she really hasn't done much since then.
Well, she's gone to become a musician in recent years.
Okay. But what about Cindy Lou's mom?
Played by Molly Shannon.
And she has turned out to be pretty funny.
She is a criminally underrated actress.
Yeah, absolutely.
She had a great one on Saturday Night Live, and when they first put her in the films,
right.
Most of them were like,
yeah.
But I would like to see her come back. I would like to see her come back and do some good stuff.
I agree. I thought she was funny.
We had Bill Irwin as Lulu Who, Cindy's dad.
Yes.
But as much as I don't really, and of course we got Jim Carrey as the Grinch.
Yes.
Jim Carrey, he does work hard. I mean, some people have called him annoying. He's really bad in this film, but he's not great. But I've seen worse.
I thought he sold it in this film. He really did.
His best scene when he's the Grinch is the scene at the end, when he's on the hilltop and he's starting to change. And that one scene funny. When he's quiet.
Yes.
When he says, maybe Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. Although that scene when he's on the hilltop and he's looking up in the clouds, I was expecting to hear Ed Harris's voice from the Truman Show start talking to him.
Yeah.
But
I thought he did a good job, and it was funny. Even that scene ended up being funny with Max coming to lick him and lick his face. It's just,
enough! Stop it!
Too soon.
That's enough!
Yeah. So
back off.
you still see
Yeah.
some of that Grinch there. So.
Yes, but the Grinch, I don't really like the film that much, but I will admit there is stuff that I do admire.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sets.
Yes.
I think the sets they made Whoville look fantastic. It looks a lot like the book, the hilltop where the
Yes.
Grinch lives, looks exactly like the hilltop from the
Yes.
Grinch. The makeup on the Grinch won an Oscar, and it deserved to. It was excellent. He looks exactly like the Grinch.
Right.
And however, the makeup on the Who's, they look creepy.
Yeah,
they look like child molesters or
One of my
something.
favorite things of the Grinch was Baby Grinch. He
Uh,
was funny.
You know, when they put that backstory in there about why he hates Christmas,
And I love it.
that didn't need to be there.
Oh my! Well,
I
it
disagree
was
with that
good.
completely.
It was so good. That's why you turned. I wanted to know what happened to the Grinch anyway, and then filled it
In the cartoon, he was just a guy that didn't like Christmas and didn't like
now
the Who's.
you know why.
But because in the cartoon, the Grinch is the villain, the Who's are the good guys. And this one, they make the Who's out to be these a-holes.
Yeah.
Everybody in Whoville, except for Cindy, her dad, her mom, and I guess Martha Mayhew, played by Leonard's mom.
Right.
They're the nice Who's, but everyone else is a total a-hole.
Well, I think it reflects society and how people get so wrapped up in Christmas and commercialism and money and things like that.
And they did break the fourth wall with that.
Okay.
And the scene when he's having Matt dress up as a reindeer, and he does the knocks off the red nose, and he goes, "Brilliant!
Yes.
You reject your own nose because it represents commercialism. Why did I think of that?"
Yes.
I'm like, now at the time I didn't think anything about it because I was a kid. Watching it back, I was like, okay, that's fourth wall breaking.
But it fit fairly well, I thought.
I thought the film was trying way too hard to just be, we're going to create a new Grinch for a new generation. And we're trying to make it hip with the kids of the 90s. And again, it's like how we talked about with Home Alone 2, where they put a lot of 90s stuff in there to make it feel cool.
This makes me want to call you Scrooge.
I am Scrooge. I am Scrooge.
Which is another
I am
movie
the Grinch.
we need to review
What?
sometime. So.
Bill Murray? Scrooge?
No, the Christmas Carol TV show from 1969, or even the Muppets
Dude,
Christmas
there were
Carol.
so many
I know.
Scrooges.
And I've seen the one
But-
with Jim Carrey in it too. You remember the animated
The
one?
animated one that I
Yes.
saw one time and don't want to watch again because it was creepy.
It was creepy. It was scary.
But the funny thing, I will say, I will give The Grinch, starring Jim Carrey, I'll give it a C, because it's not. Some people say this is like one of the worst films of all time, and it's mostly from people that grew up with the cartoon, like I did.
You know what I'd say to those people?
But I
That
grew
they're
up
stupid.
with the cartoon. I love the cartoon a lot more, but I don't hate this film. There are things I can
C's a
watch
good grade.
and enjoy.
I'd give it a B.
Yeah.
I mean, if that makes sense.
Well, you love it a lot more than I do, Neil, and that's fine. I didn't like the backstory. I didn't like the toilet jokes that they used. But I did like a lot of the sets, and I did like the makeup on the Grinch, and I can tolerate Jim Carrey in this one.
There's only a number of Christmas movies that I'd give an A.
Well,
Not very many at all.
Well, let me put it this way: have you ever seen The Cat in the Hat? With
Yes.
Mike Myers. Don't see it.
No, it's dumb.
This movie, if you think The Grinch is bad, The Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers
is an F.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Because at least in this film, Jim Carrey is trying. Mike Myers, about 2 minutes into the scene when he's introduced, he just says, "Screw it, I'm just gonna be me."
Yeah.
He ain't even gonna try anymore. But The Grinch is not great, but I can at least watch it and not feel dumb. And Neil, I gave it a C. You gave it a B.
Yeah.
There's stuff to admire, and
Right. I think it's a solid movie. Would I say it's the greatest? No, absolutely not. But, however, it's funny, and there are a few lines from that I still remember. So that's probably a good thing. So
You want to go search and
that's a
see
B.
if any pepper needs to be.
But there's only one A in my book, technically.
What are you laughing at, Rudolph? But yeah,
If you were to give a Christmas movie an A, which one would it be then?
Home Alone, the first one.
Okay, I give you that
But
too.
I mean, that is better than the
I
Grinch.
think that's an A minus
No, I'll give it an A plus. That's higher.
because White Christmas to me is an A plus.
Yes. Well,
Anyway,
we
go
have to wrap this up. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be back with maybe one or two more, and then we'll be done for today.
Absolutely.